Hello and welcome back to the Basketball Show on New Zealand Radio Sport. I talk about the NBA once a week at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday, and there's plenty to talk about this week. We're in the conference finals, so it's right at the pointy part of the season. We just bring up the game there between the Clippers and the Nuggets there, Paul. It was the final game of the semi-finals between the Nuggets and the Clippers. The Clippers were up 3-1 on that series, and this time last week I said it was probably quite unlikely that the Nuggets would come back from 2 consecutive series where they're down 1-3. There'd only been 11 teams in NBA history to come back from a 1-3 deficit, and now the Nuggets did it twice in one postseason. I don't have highlights from that game because, as you can see from the scores there, it wasn't particularly close. Wasn't particularly exciting. Didn't really look at any stage like the Clippers were going to win that game, and they didn't. And how they blew a 3-1 lead with the strength they have in their team, just one of those things. Sport sometimes you just can't comprehend how a team can be really good and then just not so good. Again, we had a really big game there from Jamal Murray. He had 40 points in that game, shooting above 50% from the field, almost 50% from three. And again, playoff P, Paul George, if we just scroll down there to the Clippers team, 2 stars there on the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Kawhi Leonard, 6 from 22 from the field and minus 21 while he was on the court. And their other star there, Paul George, 4 from 16 from the field and minus 20 when he was on the court. So the 2 best players on that team, who are both arguably top 10 or at least top 20 players in the league, their team was 20 points worse than the other team while they're on the court. So that they just had a terrible game, and it was really quite a surprise from Kawhi Leonard. He led that Toronto Raptors team last year to win the championship, and he was phenomenal. But this year he just wasn't. And Paul George, again, like he has been the last few seasons, it's just so hot and cold. And I'm quite happy actually that team didn't make it through. Again, the Clippers it's hard to know. Some franchises just can't seem to take that step. The Clippers in their history are 0 from 8 in finals clinching games. So when they've been in playoff clinching games in the semi-finals. So they've never made it from the semi-finals to the finals, and they've lost the 8 games where they've had the opportunity to go to the finals, and they still haven't. So that's a bit shit if you're a Clippers fan, but most people seem to be Lakers fans if you support LA, so I guess that's okay. So now we've got our finalists. We'll just bring up the bracket there.
Just before we go to the bracket, can you turn off your volume? Because we've got a bit of an echo.
Is that? Is that better?
Yep, that's better.
So we've got the Lakers playing the Nuggets over there in the West, and we've got the Celtics playing the Heat in the East. So Lakers Nuggets in the West. So the Lakers beat the Rockets in 5 games, 4-1. They are the number 1 seed in the West, and we have a little bit of that footage shortly. The Heat were the 5th seed in the East, and the Celtics were the 3rd seed. We'll just bring up some footage there. We had game 2 of the Lakers and Nuggets yesterday, and it came down to the last shot, which it often does in basketball, conveniently, for our entertainment. So we'll show you that game there.
Wide open three. I put the number at 14. 14 plus threes they had to make to be competitive tonight.
Here's Danny Green in desperation mode here in this 3rd quarter to try to get something going once again. Murray.
So again, the Nuggets were down quite considerably.
Sometimes gets a big lead and gets bored with their play. And his encouragement is we need to score 30 points.
Green is on him. Now they clear it out. Jokic backing his way in. And Jokic goes to the basket. It's
a couple bad shots as well because you have a game like that.
Again, they get the switch with Green on him. He turns away from the double team. Craig cuts. Craig Kuzma, an offensive rebound. Turn it into a nightmare down here. This trip for the Lakers, for Denver. Green gives it up, and Kuzma easy. 4-point trip down the floor, 4-point Laker lead. 9:15 remaining in this 4th quarter. Dozier leaves it up top and a finish by Bubble Kids here in the bubble. Last 2 years they've been that way. They've believed in their comeback ability. Caldwell Pope thought
the Nuggets fought their way back from about 16 points down in the 2nd, and they were equal early on in the 4th quarter.
Caldwell Pope's got to put one up. Tough three. Oh, Dozier now on LeBron James. Good luck. LeBron just probing. Gives it up. Davis passed up a 3. Shot clock at 1. Now it's up. And it's Jokic. Now LeBron James falls down. Turns it over into the hands of Dozier. Lakers get back well. And now Murray will get it organized for the Nuggets as we approach 1 minute remaining in regulation here. Again, behind the back, Jokic for 3, and it's down. Clock down at 4 now. Behind the back, Murray. 3-pointer is up, and an air ball, but Jokic is there to tap it in. What a play.
Denver up by 1 with 30 seconds to go.
Pope may have even gotten a piece of that, and Jokic with the tap in. 9-0 run, all by Jokic to the answer by Anthony Davis.
And Jokic going and prodding the defense first and seeing if they can get others involved.
Lakers will switch everything. Each team with 1 timeout left. Lakers in the penalty. Jokic backing his way down over Anthony Davis. He scores again. He's got 11 in a row. 2.1 seconds.
Nuggets up by 1 with 2 seconds to go.
Trying to disrupt Rondo. He puts it in. Here's Davis. 4-3 in the win. Oh, it's good. Anthony Davis has won it for the Lakers.
First buzzer beater for AD in about 5 seasons.
Tell you what, even Joker on that play, man. That's how great of a kid he is. That wasn't even his man, and he tried to get a hand up.
Just outstanding offense.
That's just better offense, man. Shake a guy's hand. That's a hell of a shot.
Yeah, but you got to get through that pick.
Yeah,
there's no pick. There was actually no pick. I think looking for LeBron to set the pick so you could switch if you were Plumlee, but there was no pick set by LeBron, so there's no switch.
The Lakers 105-103. Davis goes for 31, his 5th 30-point game of these playoffs. LeBron goes for 26 after having 20 in the first half. Contavious Caldwell-Pope had 11, and the Lakers win it 105-103.
The Lakers winning that game with the last shot, Anthony Davis, in my head, winning with his first buzzer beater in 5 seasons. Such a great player. It's surprising he's only had 1 in the last 5 seasons, but there you go. When it matters, Lakers go up 2-0. The Nuggets, who have to come back in all of their playoff series so far, they, were so close and 2 games down again. Can they come back in another series? It's really hard to see them do it again, but who knows? Now, the other series over in the East, we've had 3 games, the Celtics and the Heat. got a bit of footage from the 3 games in that series. Again, a couple of really close games. One of them come down to the final shot, so we'll see some footage from that series. Try that again, eh? Occasionally we have issues when there's 2 of us running this show. So we're going to talk a little bit about the draft picks after this.
Inside this
So here we
time,
go.
Ohio able to catch. And another opportunity inside the reverse and one.
So when you can make a play like this, if you're Brad Wanamaker, this is important.
Playing a little faster here.
Definitely.
Iguodala open, side pocket 3. Bunner. Smart switched onto him. They got a mismatch there. Dragic with a nice show and go and layup.
Just got Daniel Tice. You think he's going to make the entry pass to the post. That look in gets Tice.
Dragic on the break. Punched out by Robert Williams. Right to Crowder. Dragic with the tip. Loose ball and a foul.
2 spectacular blocks from Robert Williams.
Dragic has been great for Miami, pushing tempo. Robinson finally gets another one to go. And Duncan Robinson hits the Tice back into the action. Bam, great spin move, and says it with his chest inside.
This is a group that's going to grind and compete and keep coming. And Bam says, all right, Mr. Wanamaker, you're not big enough.
Hero for 3. Yes!
This guy.
Right back at him, and the lead is down to 2. Dragic on the drive. Butler 3 on the way. Got it, Jimmy buckets. Splash down. Foul to give. Jimmy Butler, these are the moments that he cherishes. These are the moments that he's used to and loves.
Well,
Boston keeps the ball.
Yeah, huge, Mark, because you don't have to obviously get
Rebounded by Hero. Quick hit ahead. Bam out front.
This game went into overtime.
What a play by Tyler Hero. 39 minutes. More because Duncan Robinson has not been on the floor, but
Tough cover for Hero here against Kemba Walker. The step back, he's done it so many times and does it again. Butter, Kemba, guarded by Tatum. Dragic clears it out. Butler downhill on Tatum, into traffic, got it, and one. Clutch time, Dade County, Jimmy Butler delivering.
yet again, the Miami Heat in the paint. And Jimmy Butler, again, has taken 68% of his shots from right in that area. He is relentless, gets the angle and the step on Tatum, takes the contact and scores it. 48-26, the advantage in the paint, and the Heat bench is like, yes, sir, that's our closer.
Doris, I swear Tatum bounced off him twice on the same drive. The lead is 2, and Brad Stevens calls timeout. Meanwhile, over on ESPN News, Game 7, Denver and Clippers underway, tied at 6, but plenty of time. Walker back in for offense, joined by Tatum. Crowder, Adebayo, Iguodala in the ball game for Miami defensively. Butler and Derek Jones back in defensively. Tatum out front. Clock at 7. Working against Butler. Got downhill. Couldn't punch it. Bam says, get it out of here. Team. Bam Adebayo went airborne with Jason Tatum, and Adebayo won. Wow. A meeting at the Summit, Doris.
That is a ridiculous defensive play.
That is one of the best.
Clearly
blocks
by
you'll ever
everybody
see.
else, high above the rim. Looks like it's
Amazing.
going to be an easy dunk, and Bam says, not in my house.
Finals. Bam Adebayo and the Heat looking to go up 2-0 on Kemba's Celtics. Pick it up third quarter, 5 minutes to go. Heater down 4. Tyler Hero. throwing it up. Bam Adebayo plus the foul. How about Bam? 21 points, 10 boards. Here's another later in the third. Heat down 1. It's Adebayo again. Heat by 1. They trailed by as many as 17. Adebayo had 15 points himself in the third quarter. To the fourth we go. 4 minutes to go. Heat down 3. Jimmy Butler. Oh, look at the effort by Butler. And then he gets it back. Rewarded on the other end. He would score just 14 on this night, but was all over the floor doing things like that. The save, reestablish inbounds. That's a good dish. Heat within 1. A minute and a half to go. Celtics are down 5 now, and they're falling apart. Marcus Smart, that's thrown away. Butler, Crowder. Yes, Butler 3 steals in clutch time. Heat a 7-point lead. Under a minute to go. Celtics are down 6. Oh, they desperately need a bucket. Where are you going to go? Jaylen Brown for 3. That's good. He had 21. They're within 3. After a turnover, Celtics with a chance to tie. That's a good look for Brown in the corner, but no good. And Adebayo gets the rebound, and the Heat get the win. 106-101. They take a 2-0 lead.
Back for the first time since August 17th. He had a right ankle sprain in the first. Hayward
So the
was
Heat
about to pass
got
to Daniel Tice
2-0
with
in
a
that
throw down. Then
series.
Hayward
game
finds
4.
space and works on his mid-range game, and it's looking pretty good. Boston already up by 5, 24-19. Brad Wanamaker later in the first to Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum finds a three-pointer that he can just step right into, and Boston up by 9. Into quarter number 2, Goran Dragic to Tyler Hero, and boy, he's just a wonderful three-point shooter. Then Jay Crowder strips Jason Tatum. Heat in transition, and guess who? Tyler Hero confidently steps right into that one and drills the three-pointer. He had 18 points on 4 of 6 from distance in the first half alone. Jaylen Brown blocks Dragic. Jason Tatum throwing it down as he just bullies past Jay Crowder on the other end, getting the stuff. Then off a Tyler Hero miss, it's Jason Tatum to Jaylen Brown this time, and Jaylen Brown going up and throwing down. Then it's Brown getting the steal off the Jimmy Butler pass, and he just works his way through contact and lays it in on the other end at the half. Boston up by 13 in the third quarter, and this is crucial for Boston. They remain in control. Jaylen Brown, backdoor jam. Then Jason Tatum drives and hits the tough layup, and Boston up 74-56. Into the fourth quarter we go. Jason Tatum drives, spins, layup, cash, 25 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists in the game. Then Jaylen Brown steals it from Jay Crowder, and again, dunks on the other end. Brown, 26.7 rebounds, 5 assists. Boston by 19. Miami goes on a 21-7 run, though, late in the fourth. Duncan Robinson, three-pointer. Bam Adebayo misses, but Jimmy Butler is there for the putback. He had 17 points, 8 rebounds on the game. Then it's Tyler Hero to Duncan Robinson for the three-pointer. How about Bam Adebayo? You see the time, now just under a minute left when the Heat get this bucket right there, but that cuts the lead, and it's getting closer. Later, the Celtics with a 5-point lead. Marcus Smart goes up, draws a little contact, gets fouled, and he would seal the game at the free throw line, making not 1 but 2 there as Boston hangs on to win 117-106. Miami still up in the series, 2-1.
That Heat up 2-1 in that series there against the Celtics. It's been great basketball. Both of those teams have really young cores, some really athletic young players, and play as a team. They don't play the two-man basketball that you see a lot from the Lakers and Denver over in the West. So, yeah, I'd love that to go 7 games. 7 games of that quality would be great. At this point, I'm not going to say who I think is going to win that series because I'm starting to be wrong most of the time. But I'd love the Celtics to get through. I'd love the Celtics to play the Lakers, but we'll see.
So in the live chat, Jordan reckons that tomorrow's game is a bit of a must-win for both teams. Do you reckon that if it goes 3-1, that that's it for or do you think that it really the Celtics really can? Do the Celtics have to win tomorrow? Do you think?
Yeah. I mean, coming back from 3-1, as I mentioned earlier, is before the season there'd only been 11 teams do it. Before the Nuggets done it twice in this off season, and it's very hard to win 3 consecutive games. It's a lot easier to win 2. So and the Celtics do look like the better team. they have been up in those first 2 games that they lost. They were 15 points up in both of those, and they even in game 3 they were again close to 20 points up, and the Heat came back to be within 5 within the last minute, and it was starting to get a bit, worrying there for the Celtics, but they can't keep letting those leads go, and they are the better team. So I think the Celtics hopefully should get the next game and make a series of it.
Cool.
We had the awards over the last couple of weeks. We'll just bring that up on screen, Paul. So each year the NBA has the awards for the best players in their respective categories. So Giannis, as everybody thought, won MVP. And sometimes it seems a bit redundant if, they name the MVP so late in the season after he had been knocked out in the playoffs. So, that award probably means very little to him after being knocked out, but it is what it is. And he also won Defensive Player of the Year. So Giannis is only the 3rd player to win Defensive Player of the Year and MVP in the same season. The other 2, Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan. Coach of the Year, Nick Nurse from the Toronto Raptors. They were a team who did a lot better than probably everybody thought after losing Kawhi Leonard to the LA Clippers. But Nick Nurse is a great coach, and he's probably deserved of that. I thought Billy Donovan from the Thunder also was quite deserving of that. But, Nick Nurse. Rookie of the Year went to Ja Morant from the Memphis Grizzlies. Zion Williamson was talked up all preseason, and when he did come back for about 20 games, did look amazing. But he only played 20 games, where Ja was phenomenal throughout the season. So deservedly winning Rookie of the Year. Sixth Man of the Year is Harrell from the LA Clippers. Again, the Thunder had another person, Dennis Schroeder, who I thought probably deserved that title. But, Harrell also had a really good season coming off the bench. So sixth man is the most valuable bench player in the competition. Defensive Player of the Year, as I mentioned, went to Giannis. Most improved went to Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans. And he improved his average, I think 7 points. He averaged 25 points a season, and he was the number 2 pick in the draft a few years ago and sort of slowly developed. And this season he's shown that length because he's very sort of tall, long, skinny guy. And he's looking like a great player for the Pelicans if they retain him with Zion Williamson over the next few seasons. First team was Giannis, LeBron James, James Harden, Anthony Davis, and Luka Doncic. So Luka is only in his second year. So for a second-year player to make All-NBA first team, that's pretty big. He is definitely, as we all know, a superstar of the future. He's a superstar right now. All defensive team was Rudy Gobert from the Jazz, Giannis, Anthony Davis from the Lakers, Marcus Smart, who has been showing in these playoffs with the Celtics that he is well deserved of that first team. He's a great defender. He's sort of that really nuggety guy who doesn't mind doing the dirty work. And he's the sort of guy that any team wants. And Ben Simmons there from the Sixers, who was injured before the postseason. And Philly, another year of underachieving. But that's all right. Ben Simmons made all defensive first team. Another young guy, 3 seasons into his career, another one to watch for the future. And next, we're just going to talk about
just a couple of things on there.
Sorry?
On just quickly on here, Jordan says he reckons that Anthony Davis was deserved of the Defensive Player of the Year ahead of Giannis. I guess my comment. The only team that's left in the playoffs that has anyone in the first team is the LA Lakers, and they've got two of them there. So surely the LA Lakers have got to be way favourites when it comes to winning the whole thing.
Yeah, well, basically any team with LeBron in it is probably going to be the favourite. And yeah, as you say, two guys in the first team and Anthony Davis, first defensive team as well. But as I've mentioned in previous weeks, besides those two players who they're very reliant on, if either of those two guys have a bad game, the Lakers have a bad game.
Yep.
But they do have a core of good players, just not phenomenal players. And as long as the good players play to their potential, the Lakers are going to be pretty hard to beat. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't like LeBron. But it'll be good to see him go to another final series. And can he win his fourth? We'll see. It'll be, as I say, I want them to play the Celtics to see another Lakers-Celtics series, but we'll see. So just quickly, before we finish with Steven Adams' video. So next year, you can't see this on screen, but I want to quickly mention Minnesota Timberwolves have the number 1 pick next season. Golden State Warriors have the 2nd pick. Charlotte Hornets have the 3rd. Bulls have the 4th. And the Cavs have the 5th pick. So the way the draft works is all the worst teams get thrown in a hat. Well, in like a lottery ball thing. And then the balls come out. And then it's a random order of the worst teams. Who gets the top picks? So basically that means, really bad teams get good potential players for the future and hopefully get better. So you're not having the same teams dominate every year. Really interesting, Warriors getting the 2nd pick. Golden State have won 3 out of the last 5 titles. And now they have a 2nd pick. And they're getting Klay Thompson and Steph Curry back. Steph Curry, obviously, huge star, top 5 player, 2-time MVP. Having those two guys back with a 2nd pick of the draft next year, I think we're going to see the Warriors dominating quite a bit again. Also, I don't think I just mentioned, but they had, where are we? So Eric Paschall made all-rookie first team from the Warriors. So he's a guy who stood out in a pretty bad season for the team. He had no expectations on him before the year, but he's shown quite a bit of potential. So again, yeah, Warriors next year should be a team to watch. And I just want to talk.
So those players were missing. Those players were missing through injury this year. Is why they.
Yes.
So yeah, a bit like what happened with the Spurs back in the day and how they got the Twin Towers, and the fact that their lead guy was injured for the season. Then they picked up Tim Duncan to join him, and that led to the Spurs having obviously a fantastic decade or so.
A very long dynasty, yeah. We'll just bring the Thunder picks back up. So it's not all doom and gloom for the Thunder. We lost in Game 7 of the first round against the Rockets, but I just wanted to point out how many first-round picks that the Thunder have over the next 6 seasons. As you can see here, they got 15 first-round picks. 5 of those went in the trade of Paul George to the Clippers. So Playoff P, who is underperformed again, the swap of him gave the Thunder 5 first-round picks. So I think they're probably quite happy with how that's progressing right now. They got 2 of those first-round picks from Houston, and they've got by far the most first-round picks. So support your team, Steven Adams and Thunder. They haven't won a title, but they're good, and they're going to be a playoff team for the next 5 or 6 years, and they could potentially be the best team in the league with the amount of draft picks that they have, they can trade some of those draft picks for better players. They can keep them and have a core of really good young guys. So, yep, we're going to finish with some Steven Adams footage. So
Just
this is the
one question about the draft from Jordan. Do you think LaMelo Ball will go the first pick? Or have you been keeping track of the college? He will?
I would love to see the Warriors get him for the second pick, but he probably will be the first pick. A lot of people are expecting the Warriors to get a big guy because they've got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are both guards, small guys. But I think having another, because LaMelo Ball is a huge potential, and as a guard, he's quite big. I think he's 6'8". So he's quite tall for a guard, and I think having him off the bench to run that second unit would be so good for that team. But yeah, I think he's probably going to go to the Timberwolves as the first pick. Okay. And yeah, we'll just finish the show off tonight. We've got Steven Adams' funniest moments over the past, I think it's 8 seasons he's been in the NBA.
Yeah, sorry, just 1 second. I've lost the video.
Like they got tables on planes.
Here we go.
Like,
finish with Steve. We'll see you next week.
And we kind of got into it, like we clashed. Like, I'm innocent. I didn't do anything. I accidentally hit him, and then he just turned around and elbowed me in the ribs. And I was like, oh my god, like that really hurt. And he just yelled at me. He was like, I'm the only silverback. I was like, what the? I was like,
and he didn't talk to me at all. I played the English card one time. He said something, and I was just like, "Oh, just like no English, no English, mate. Sorry." He'll come and like punch me in the stomach, like no joke. I swear to God, he'll come punch me in the stomach or slap me on the arm really hard, and he'll just say, "Make a free throw," and then shoot 2 free throws. And I'm just like, oh, "Okay." And then you just, with that like kind of stress of whatever it is, you still have to try and stay locked in, focused on what you need to do. And so that's what he does. It's not fun. I didn't say it was fun, mate. I'm telling you, I'm getting beaten by a little Serbian. No good, mate. No good. That was a super nice guy. That's just from his smile. He smiled at me. I was like, oh, what a nice guy. So I was like, I don't know, a warming smile.
You're easily persuaded.
No, I'm just saying, guy with a nice smile. Oh, he's a good guy, probably. So I'm only trying it out just because I haven't grown it before. Scared off a lot of people. But yeah, we're just seeing how it does. Thoughts, comments? What are your thoughts?
It's pretty scraggly.
Thanks, mate. I'll take that as a compliment. Cheers. Leave on that note. Fairly well. You wrote a letter? Yes. Surely you didn't write it. No way. There's no chance he wrote it. That guy is terrible at English. Was it in English?
Yeah, it was in English. I mean,
was it good?
I thought it was pretty good. It sounded like him too.
Really?
I thought it read it.
I haven't read it though. I haven't read it.
It's pretty long.
That is.
Yeah, it came out today. You should check it out on the plane.
I don't really want to, but okay, I'll check it out. That's weird. What is it? Just talking about Russell, how he's awesome in that?
Yeah, and talking about how he broke his arm and stuff.
He talked about that.
Broke his arm. Yeah. Not Steve.
Yeah. And it's broke his arm. What a weirdo, eh? What is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? Yeah, that's weird. No, I'll check it out. I'll see what he's got to say. I will.
It's good.
Give it a look, mate. Give it a look.
You can write one.
Not a chance, mate. You don't want to. My diary? It's trash. It's so bad.
You have a diary? Have you written before?
No, I didn't write. I got ghostwriting at Medlinchip. So. Barely read, mate. I'm going to write a book. Jesus. It's a bonus where I have to kind of teach some new things. They're giving me a bit of responsibility to kind of teach them some stuff. So there's a big role in that. Kind of feel like a father. So congratulations to me.
Is that on the court, off the court?
That's both, on and off. Yeah, it's good stuff, mate. Dropping knowledge bombs.
Living with your teammates and not really having an opportunity to get away, and just overall your thoughts on life inside the bubble right now.
It's all good, mate.
let's be clear, mate. This is not Syria, mate. You know what I mean? Like it's not that hard. It's not that difficult, mate. You know what I mean? We're living in a bloody resort. You know.
Owens was super high on just being able to work on. Oh, okay, let me rephrase.
Wow. There's a connection, or is there a connection between how you might feel physically and the free throw line?
I want to say yes, but that sounds like a loaded question.
How did this feel? Free throw shooting's been such a key for you this season. How did it feel to hit that one and then make the heads-up play after?
Yeah, absolutely. Shit my pants.
Shoot the three ball this season?
Shoot a three.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
What?
No.
Well,
Absolutely not.
Man,
Maybe. No,
right.
just maybe. Preseason?
Maybe try it. I don't know.
No, I got to see, mate, because, I don't want to lose my job. Sure. I'm just an awkward guy, mate. Let's just leave it at that, yeah.
Are you a typical New Zealander, personality-wise?
Yeah, I think so, mate. Yeah, just normal Kiwi guy, I think, mate. Yeah, like, some of the stuff that you guys laugh at, right, they won't laugh at it there. It's just different, mate. Yeah, different cultures, mate. So, yeah, you could just say, I'm a Kiwi guy. Awkward Kiwi guy, mate. Keep it simple. Did I answer your question, mate? I'm not sure.
So
Huh? It didn't.
You typically get around to it.
I did?
You typically get there.